All right, let's dive into this explainer and unpack a truly fascinating 3,000-year-old narrative of loyalty, suspense, and just raw survival. Today, we're looking at the historical and biblical account of Ruth and Boaz. But look, we aren't just reading this as some simple ancient story, right? We're going to really look closely at the strategy, the ancient legal customs, and the sheer bravery it took to survive in a world that literally had zero modern safety nets. We're focusing entirely on one specific, highly pivotal event, the threshing floor covenant.
So, how exactly did a midnight meeting secure a family's future? It's a question that sets the stage for a daring, high stakes proposition. I mean, picture this. You're a widow in an ancient patriarchal society. No husband, no immediate inheritance, no clear way to put food on the table. This was the harsh reality for Naomi and her daughter in law, Ruth. Their entire future basically hinged on one secretive midnight meeting driven by these ancient legal customs. To figure out how they navigated this seemingly impossible situation, we have to look at their incredibly precise strategy.
Which brings us to part one, a mother's bold plan.
We start off with the older widow, Naomi. Her ultimate goal? To seek rest for Ruth. And in this context, rest doesn't just mean taking a nap. It signifies a secure home, a marriage, and a stable future so that it may be well with her. To pull this off, Naomi pinpoints their relative, Boaz. She knows he's going to be winnowing barley that very night at the threshing floor. That makes him the absolute perfect candidate to approach. He's family, he's got resources, and tonight he'll be out in the open, far away from the crowded, prying eyes of the city. So Naomi gives Ruth this incredibly specific, secretive checklist. It's basically a tactical blueprint. Step 1, wash. Step 2, anoint yourself. Step 3, put on your best raiment, your best clothes. And step 4, and this is the absolutely crucial part, go down to the threshing floor, but stay completely hidden. She tells her do not let him know you're there until he is entirely finished eating and drinking. Naomi tells Ruth to just hang back, observe exactly where he lies down to sleep, and then go in, uncover his feet, and lie down. And Ruth, she just agrees to do exactly what her mother-in-law says. Moving on to part 2, the midnight encounter. Following the instructions to the letter, Ruth executes the plan. During the evening, Boaz eats, he drinks, and the text actually notes his heart was merry. As night rolls in, he goes to sleep right at the edge of the heap of corn, to guard his harvest, and that's when Ruth makes her move. The source material explicitly says she came softly. She sneaks in, uncovers his feet, and just lies down quietly in the dark while he sleeps. You can just imagine the tension building here, right? Hours are passing in this cold, dark threshing floor. And then, right at midnight, the sleeping man suddenly stirs. He turns over and he's terrified because he realizes he's not alone. There is literally someone lying right at his feet.
Startled and afraid in the pitch black, Boaz turns to find a woman there, and he immediately demands to know who she is. He asks simply, but with totally understandable urgency, "Who art thou?" Now this is the make or break moment for Ruth. Her reputation, her safety, her whole future, it all rests on exactly how she answers this one single question.
And here is Ruth's bold proposition. She doesn't just give him her name. She makes a very specific, profound demand. She identifies herself, "I am Ruth, thine handmaid." But then she drops this, "Spread therefore thy skirt over thine handmaid, for thou art a near kinsman." She is looking him in the eye, in the dark, and directly asking him to act as her protector.
Let's unpack that in part 3, the kinsman covenant. To truly grasp what Ruth is asking here, we gotta understand what a near kinsman actually is. Back in their society, a near kinsman was a familial protector. If a man died and left a widow without an heir, it was the duty of this near kinsman to step up, marry the widow, and handle all the legal matters regarding the late husband's inheritance, so the family line wouldn't just vanish. By asking him to literally spread his skirt over her, Ruth is making this profound symbolic request. She's asking Boaz to step up and fulfill these exact legal duties for her and Naomi. She's asking for marriage, and she's asking for redemption. So how does Boaz react to a woman sneaking up on him in the middle of the night and basically demanding marriage? You might expect anger, right? But instead, Boaz responds with just incredible grace and honor. He immediately blesses her. He praises her kindness and her loyalty, pointing out that she didn't just go chasing after younger men, rich or poor. He completely validates her character, assuring her the whole city knows she's a virtuous woman. And then he promises to do absolutely everything she requires. He tells her essentially, "You have nothing to fear." But, of course, there's a catch. A major legal complication rears its head. Boaz admits, yes, it's true, I am a near kinsman and I am totally willing. However, he reveals there's actually another relative who is even closer in line. This other man legally holds the very first right and the responsibility to act as the family protector. Boaz literally cannot bypass this guy legally without giving him the chance to claim his right first. To calm Ruth down about this massive hurdle, Boaz makes an ironclad oath. He tells her to tarry, or just stay right there, for the rest of the night. He promises that first thing in the morning, they're going to see if this nearer kinsman will perform his duty. If the guy does it, fine. But if that closer relative refuses, Boaz swears by the Lord that he will step up and do the part of a kinsman for her. He guarantees that one way or another, her legal matters are going to be completely resolved the second the sun comes up. Which leads us to our final section, returning with hope. Ruth stays there at his feet until morning, but she gets up before anyone could possibly recognize her in the early dawn light. Boaz is fiercely protective of her reputation here. He explicitly says it must not be known that a woman came to the threshing floor. By making sure she slips away early, he completely cuts off any city gossip that could ruin her standing as the virtuous woman he knows her to be.
But right before she leaves, there's one final, really vital exchange. He tells her to bring her veil and hold it out. And when she does, he measures out exactly 6 measures of barley and lays it right upon her.
Now, why 6 measures of grain? Well, as he loads this heavy barley onto her veil, he gives her a very specific message. Go not empty unto thy mother-in-law. This super generous gift is a tangible physical promise. It's proof. Remember, Naomi originally left her homeland empty. But now, thanks to Ruth's bravery, Boaz is sending her back full. It's basically a down payment, proving he's taking care of these 2 widows and that he absolutely intends to keep that Midnight oath. Ruth heads back into the city, reports everything to Naomi, and shows her this massive gift of barley. And Naomi, the second she hears the whole story, she knows their bold plan worked. She gives Ruth some incredibly confident advice. Sit still, my daughter. Naomi knows Boaz. She knows his character. She tells Ruth to just sit tight, declaring that this man is not going to rest until he has completely wrapped up the legal proceedings that very day. And that brings us to an absolutely massive cliffhanger, really showing the power of a calculated, faithful risk. The immediate crisis, the poverty and starvation, that's been met with a promise of protection. But there's still a legal battle looming. Will that nearer kinsman claim his right to the property and to Ruth, or will Boaz be able to fulfill his oath and secure their future himself? It's an incredible testament to the lengths people will go to for survival. Thanks for joining me for this explainer. Keep asking those big questions, and go dive into the source material to find out exactly what happens next.